So you got a 3D printer, or a few, and you're looking to turn it into a business, maybe a side hustle, a little bit of spare cash, or maybe you're looking to go full time. There's some things you need to know. It's doable, but it might take some work. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking all about starting a 3D printing business and some things to be aware of. So I hope that you do enjoy, and if this is the kind of content you like, make sure that you do leave a like and get subscribed. A lot of people that get 3D printers eventually run out of benchies and articulated dragons to print because, well, the market is only so large. They've made parts for themselves and made parts for friends and family, and maybe now the machines are sitting idle. You might want to then try to monetize the time on it, whether that is starting a 3D printing business, maybe doing a hobby thing. It all depends. And of course, with places like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Kijiji, Etsy, the list goes on. There are tons of opportunities for startup businesses to make a living. But it is not as easy as get the rights to print a file, put it on Etsy, and hope for the best. There is way more to it. Let's go to Stand Up Set and let's talk about it a little bit more. So when it comes to getting printers for your business, you kind of have to make the tough decision. Do you go with the cheaper printers that are going to require more of your time, or are you going to shell out the big bucks for something like a Prusa or maybe a Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon? This is always a tough spot to be. If you already have a few printers, run what you brung. There's no point right now in buying more equipment. I understand we all like the new shiny, and in fact, it's a tax write-off because it's a business now, right? You got to file for the LLC and all of that. LLCs will protect you as long as they have more than one member. In the United States, of course, if there's one thing that is guaranteed in this world other than death, it is my segue to our sponsor, 3D Musketeers. If you want to look at getting started in your 3D printing career, but don't want to deal with buying all the printers, running a farm and all that kind of crap, because it's a lot of work. Trust me, reach out to the pros at 3D Musketeers. We have 39 3D printers, of which 3 are sitting in front of me. This one's not used for farm work. This one's just for fun. To help you get your ideas out of your noggin and into your hands. And if you want to support what we do here, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/3dmusketeers, or as low as $1 a month. I don't want to spend too long on the sponsor segue. I want to get back into this because really it's taxes, right? The answer is actually taxes, not some crappy CTA, but like and subscribe as you should. It's taxes. And taxes can eat you alive if you're not planning for it. But the thing is, you must first define that target market. Are you going to go B2C, business to consumer? That is Etsy, Facebook, Craigslist, Instagram. And there's one big thing here that you must keep in mind. When you deal with consumers, you must provide a lot of customer service. Consumers, bless their heart, are used to Amazon. I'm sorry, but we're kind of spoiled. Now it's expected that shipping does not cost anything, and if it does, make sure you have it clear up front that you're gonna have crazy fast turnaround times because, well, that's what Amazon has. And if you don't set these expectations in the beginning, they absolutely will bite you in the ass. And that time that you spend talking to these customers or potential customers is time you're not spending making money. What we recommend is if you do want to sell direct to consumer for whatever reason, that you look at designing something yourself. Such as, this is an actual prototype of an actual product that we are going to be producing and selling in the 3D printing industry. It's called the Politician. I'll let you guys figure out why it's called that in the comments below. It is a filter and a heater for chambers. Whether you want to put it into your resin printer to keep your temperature consistent, which, by the way, massive problem with resin printers. If you cannot keep their temperature consistent, you're gonna have a bad time. If you can be pumping hot air into your chamber constantly, and you can keep it at a regulated temperature, by the way, triple redundancy on that one, you're able to produce better parts faster. I know this because this is not the final prototype. We have a final prototype. I'm not showing it on camera for obvious reasons. But this device is going into beta in July. If you do want to learn more about the Politician and potentially become a beta tester, you can join our Patreon at the $10 tier higher to get access to our Discord, where you will routinely see me working on this thing late into the evening, because we are always trying to iterate to make it better. I found a problem, and it's a problem that if these don't sell, I don't really care. I've got a bunch of printers that can use these, and I'm making them really for myself. If other people happen to buy them, great. Pre-orders will be opening soon. Just keep an eye out for that. We are not kickstarting this. And no, unfortunately, it is not going to be open sourced. So get that out of the way in the beginning. But if you can find a market, the sim racing market has been one that's kind of stood out to me that has a lot of opportunity for people to get into without really competing over the same slice of pie. If you have a particular wheel that you make accessories for, particular offsets, particular pedals, that kind of stuff is really difficult for others to come in once you've already put a foothold on what exists in the industry. And if you become the industry expert, it doesn't matter if competitors come up against you unless they are considerably cheaper. It's going to be difficult for them to gain any foothold. So if you wanted to go B2C, my recommendation is find a niche that works for you. If you've got the skills, design your own products so you stand out amongst the chaff. But the preference here is B2B, business to business, or B2G, business to government. If you're just starting business to government, throw that out the window. You're not ready for it yet. If you can't accurately describe what your target market is, what a business plan is, and what yours looks like, and maybe even a marketing plan if we're lucky. Not saying a lot of us suck with marketing, but a lot of us suck with marketing, myself included. In fact, we're hiring marketing people. So if you know how to do marketing, you want to help the cool stuff that we do here, reach out. We're also hiring a producer. That's a thing too. But business is not all glitz and glamour, right? A lot of it is getting down and dirty and fixing things. Printers are gonna break. You're going to need at least one spare printer for all the work that you're doing. So if you need 8 printers, buy a 9th. Hell, buy a 10th if your budget allows for it. And if you are looking at printers like this, understand that you're gonna spend more time. Now, with that being said, this is an Ender 3 V2. The new Elegoo Neptune 3 is something that I've really been interested in. And if any of you have connections at Elegoo, I would love to get one of those printers to test and look at, because I think it solves a lot of the problems that I have with the Ender 3, in that it's got auto bed leveling, it's got a PEI removable bed surface, doesn't have an all metal hot end, but at least it's got a dual drive all metal extruder, so at least we're moving in the right direction. If you do have a good bowed-in system like the Prusa Mini, the printers can actually run pretty well. And realistically speaking, you don't need an all metal hot end, it just means you do less maintenance generally speaking. So do take that into account. Understand this is $300 or less. I got mine on an Amazon deal for $165. We'll card to the video that I talked about it in. The Prusa Mini runs about 500-ish to the door, and the Mark 3S is gonna run a little bit closer to 1,000 to your door. So yeah, okay, these are cheap. I said cheap for a reason. They're built to a price. They're not designed to be workhorse machines. And I know you're already writing a comment, well, Grant, I've got an Ender farm with 500 printers. I don't particularly give a damn. In my experience, when I just need shit to work, I'm going to my Prusa every single time. It's why we have 13 Prusas out of 39 printers, and 11 of those 39 printers are resin. So almost half of our FDM printers are Prusas. Some of the other ones are ones like this, where it's for fun. We've got some big CR10 printers for doing larger pieces, but I don't rely on those for farm duty. That's what the Prusas are. And if you do want to learn all about sequential printing, we are going to be doing a 3DQ Quinley upgrade on this exact Mark 3S coming up. So make sure you get subscribed, because that is coming up in the next couple of weeks. In fact, we're going to be interviewing the 3DQ team this weekend. So if you want to learn all about what they're doing and their amazing software to detect print failures, holy crap, I'm excited. But I like the Mark 3S. I do think it's a little dated, but we are expecting a revision here pretty soon. I think the Mini is pretty much my go-to at this point. While we do run mostly Mark 3Ss in the farm, that's just because I've had them for a while. But the thing with businesses, they're not always easy to get a hold of. So Grant, how the hell do you market yourself? Well, a great option is to start with business to consumer, B2C. and look at who's buying your wares. Ask them about their lives. Talk to them. They're humans. Generally speaking, humans love to talk about themselves. So get them talking about themselves. Maybe they're engineers. Maybe they're paleontologists. Maybe they're just moms and dads that really like making cool stuff. But they might have opportunities beyond the onesie-twosie work they're going to have for you to do work with maybe their job, maybe their personal business, where you could alleviate potential problems. We talked about GM using 3D printing to save the delivery date of the Chevy Tahoe in last week's video. We'll card to that so you guys can take a look at it. And that is a perfect example of how 3D printing can be valuable outside of the general region. And that initial relationship with an individual can turn into a very prosperous business relationship. In fact, a lot of my favorite clients are also my friends. Hi, you all know who you are. We hang out from time to time when I leave the cave. But that's normal, right? That's part of business. It's kind of becoming friends and understanding your clients. Be personable. It helps. And you'll notice that you're gonna get the same questions over and over again. That's actually why we started our YouTube channels, to solve those questions and say, here's your answer. I can talk to you for 15 minutes, but I can give you this video and it's gonna teach you way more in depth and you can absorb it at your rate. And we found that it's incredibly valuable. So feel free to share our videos with any of your potential clients. It's something that I believe heavily in sharing the wealth in this community. That's why we give all this away for free. Pretty cool. But I believe the money is in business to business, right? They're gonna put in larger orders, they're gonna keep your printers running for a while. And if you do wanna do something like this where it is direct to consumer, maybe you have a printer with a Quinley system on it that is able to print over and over. Maybe you're running a belt printer. Printers that can just sequentially print over and over and over again are great, especially ones like this that I can trust. Trust is a big deal when you're looking at print farming because guess what? The printers work when you're asleep. I know that we tell people to not print overnight, but at some point it's inevitable. It has to happen for you to continue running your business. So to have printers that can clear their own build plates, that can start the next job without any human intervention is incredibly valuable. Now, it's okay if your printers can't do that. None of ours can currently do that, at least the ones that are running. So there does require some manual work involved. But if you're smart about when you start your prints, you can have it run while you're asleep, while you're away, while you're on a business call for whatever reason, and you're able to let the printers make you money passively. Because ultimately that's the goal, is that passive income stream. But let's wind back a little bit and talk about pricing. Don't be the cheapest person in your fucking area. Seriously, don't do it. You're gonna have a bad time. Okay, I know the consumer shop with price, right? A lot of people are gonna find whoever's the cheapest and buy it from them. But do you really wanna work for pennies on the dollar, work yourself to the bone for less than even 10 bucks an hour? You can go flip burgers at the local burger joint for more than that. Why would you work your ass off to make nothing to be your own boss? Okay? Think about it. And understand, as a business, you might not make money for quite some time. You gotta pay back your printers. If you take out a loan for whatever reason, you gotta pay that back. And for the love of God, do not take out credit card loans. Please don't. If you can't afford it, outsource it. That's what we do. That's what most businesses do. You need to look at something that can outlast the economy. The economy waxes and wanes and you have to be ready to run through those. As the military says, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And if your business cannot do all three of those things, it is doomed to fail. So Grant, how the hell do I even get started? In the immortal words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Seriously, no Nike, don't sue me. Just do it. Just get started. Put your work out there. Go to Facebook, put it up. Maybe your friends and family will buy some stuff. Put it up on Craigslist that you're offering 3D printing services. But please, for the love of God, make it something that you can make money on. Buy good quality filament from reputable brands. I'll put some down in the description down below. My favorite is Printed Solid these days. Atomic Filament makes great filament as well. And there are some other ones, especially if you're not in the US, like Sparta 3D up in Canada makes some pretty good filament. So let's recap. 1, get an LLC. Find that niche that works for you. Get printers that you trust, Whether it's Enders, whether it's the Neptune 3, Neptune 2S, Prusa Mini, Prusa Mark 3S, any other machine, it does not matter. Get machines you know, you love, you use, you trust, and run them. Start with what your budget can afford. Leave about 20% extra for other stuff. It's not going to be overnight. Some people get lucky. Some people get lucky. But profit is not normally occurring overnight. Give it time. Don't quit your day job. And if you need to, get a day job. But also remember to be a part of your local community. Being a part of your local community lets people know you exist. That's kind of important when you're trying to run a business. But that's really it, guys. If you want me to talk more about starting your business, growing a business, let me know. We talked about it a little bit on podcast episodes. We'll card to one of them and we'll link to the others in the description, because business is complicated. It is not all clean, cut, and dry. It's not as easy as you might think it is. And Daddy Bezos really does make it a little bit harder when you're dealing with consumers.
Come on, Jeff. Get him!
But I have faith in you, and as long as you have faith in yourself, you too can change the world.
Nothing is impossible.
Maybe make a little money in the process. But comment below, let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's anything you want me to go into further detail about. And feel free to ask me anything about the business of 3D Musketeers, except for our profit margins and how we do our pricing. That's your job, not mine. That's all I got for you guys today. Stay safe out there. Stay cool out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one. So find your niche, sell your product, question mark, question mark, question mark, profit. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and a massive thank you goes out to all of our Patreon and YouTube channel member supporters. Remember, if you want to support the efforts that we do here at 3D Musketeers, you can do so by heading over to our Patreon page, linked in the description, and join for as little as $1 a month. And if you do want to get involved with the politician and potentially be a beta tester, the $10 a month or higher tier is where you want to be, with the $25 tier getting the option to get this in a month. We're excited to get this thing out there. Right below me will be the entire upgrade video that we did upgrading the Prusa Mini Plus with a Revo Micro and the Mad Monkey MM10 upgrade kit to use a regular friggin' piece of Bowden tube. And right next to that will be our video on affordable 3D printers. It's probably time we update that, but I still think it checks out pretty well. I'll see you guys down in those comments and in the next one. Take care.